Hiker Jay here. Well, it's winter, and it's important to have some type of a kit in your car for emergency situations. Case in point, I have a friend whose grandmother was driving down a back road, went into a very deep ditch, and it was all drifted. It took like 6 hours for anybody to find her. Somebody finally saw her blinker and said that's weird and called it in. So you should have an emergency kit in your vehicle, so just in case you're stuck somewhere in the cold. And I believe that it's really important that it's in the cab part of the vehicle. If you have an SUV, you could put it in the back, but if you have a car, you should think about a kit that can fit underneath the seat. Mine is tucked right underneath the back seat. You can get to it really easy, whether me or somebody in the back seat can get to it. Let's take it inside and I'll share what I have in my winter car kit with you. All right, now as I break down my winter emergency kit, the links to all the products are down below of everything that's in here, so you don't have to take notes. You can just click down there to check it out. Now I am using a Sterilite 7-quart. I think a 6-quart could work as well, but any bin that would work for you, like definitely think about having it where it can fit underneath a seat, whether you're front seat or back seat. So let's start with warmth. Warmth is so important when it comes to winter. So always you lose so much heat through your head. So there is a winter hat for sure. And then these hand and feet warmers. It's amazing how warmth, like when you just feel warmth when you're really cold and freezing, how good that is for your psyche and everything. So these hand warmers are in there. They're kind of double duty because my family uses them all the time anyway, so I have to restock them. So we've got hand warmers for warmth as well. If it gets really critical in a bad situation, I have this survival blanket in here too. Now this is for 2 people, which is really good because I think that, you know, you huddled with somebody and you can actually get more warmth. It does say that it reflects like 90% of your heat back to your body. So something like this is really great. One thing I do want to say is that you should also have like a nice blanket in your vehicle. You should have the standard things, but that's not in here. Things like a first aid kit, a shovel, a blanket, those type of things should just be in your vehicle. These are the items that you'd have in your car that are going to make you more comfortable if you're really stuck in there for a while in the cold in an emergency situation. So definitely an emergency blanket. These are not very expensive. You should grab one and just leave it in your vehicle. Then we're going to go into light. Light is so important too because when it gets dark, or if you're like my buddy's grandmother who was down in a drift, she couldn't see as well. So I really like the Luminade. It's 2-purpose. So if you've never seen one of these, I did do a review on this. I'll put a link up top here to it. But you blow it up and it goes into an actual canister, like a square. I'll blow it up for you. So once you blow this up, you've got kind of a handle here that you could put up over your mirror or wherever you want to actually let that light light up your vehicle. This is more than just a light. This is a couple purposes. It's certainly a light, and you can charge it by solar, which is sweet. So I really like having a solar charging type of light system. And you can also dim it, so you don't have to have it super bright so it'll last longer. But also, it has a blinking light, which is really good because that's eye-catching. So you could have that up towards the back window or something and people might see that blinking at night, which is great. And the last thing is that it's actually a battery charger. So it will charge your cell phone. So I also have a USB-C cord in here to charge my cell phone in case something like that happens. So this is a really good option to have in there. It's compact, it goes down small. And what's cool too is from time to time you can check to see what type of power it has in it. It'll go through and tell you that it's fully charged or not. Staying on light source, I like to have a second one. I like to have dual systems. So I have this little headlamp by Ozark, and it's like 99 cents. But I didn't pull the battery flap so that it won't actually turn on right now until I need it to. So I'd pull that flap when I would actually need it. Nice little headlamp. So that's my secondary light system. Another thing for emergency that works really well is glow sticks. So if any of these lights failed because there are batteries involved, you could go to glow sticks. Those are excellent to have in there. And the last thing for light are candles. So I have these candles that I really like. They're for a candle lantern. So I like these candles quite a bit because they're made by UCO, and I know from personal experience that these will burn for about 8 or 9 hours. So I have a beeswax one and just a regular one that has been cut off. But what's nice about it is you can get a lantern. So I put a link to this as well down below. So you can buy these candles with this lantern, and this thing is excellent. What it does is you're able to pull the candle out and put it in there and then light it. and then put it in this actual lantern and hang it. And what this does is it keeps the moisture down from inside your car. No matter what, if you light a candle, that's going to help keep that like moisture building up in there. And also, it's a little bit of a heat source, not really much, but it's comfort because you see this flickering light. And I really like these. These are absolutely excellent. These are great gifts to give to anybody. The link that I have down there in my list shows this. It has the lantern and multiple candles, so that's a good option for you. And of course, if we're going to have candles, we need something to light it with. So I do have a Bic lighter. Those can fail, so I also have matches. And these are Strike Anywhere type of waterproof matches made by UCO, the same company that make these candles. So again, I like some redundancy in my system. So if one doesn't work, I would use this for sure. But if it didn't work, then I would go to the matches. Of course, I have a Swiss Army knife because I believe like you never know when you need a knife, so that's in there. I have a pen with a bunch of duct tape rolled on it. So duct tape is a great source for being able to stick things shut. If you have a broken window or a little spot, you can tape shut. So definitely some duct tape. And then a whistle. This is really important. I don't think people think about this one, but you definitely need a whistle in your car because if you are in an emergency, you hear people, but they can't see you. You can blow, and then they'll be able to say, wow, I hear that again, come find you. And then I also have a can here, like a little tin cup. And why I have this is because certainly you could put your candle in it and burn from in there or on the back of it. But I also think you could scoop snow out and then put it over a candle and it would melt it enough so you could get some water, which leads me into my next thing, which is water and food. So that's what this is for. Now, food is my last item. Now, I put in here some almonds because I think protein's really important. So I have a can of almonds and then some granola bars. Now, when you're thinking about what granola bars to put in here, I put the kind of chewy kind. Don't get like a Cliff Bar or a Power Bar or something that's a really hard type protein one. Make sure you have a higher level of carbs, that's important, but also that they're chewy. So if you already start with a Power Bar that's already really hard to begin with, they'll be horrible to eat. So make sure you get something that's a little bit chewy. Let me know, do you think I'm missing something in my kit? Do you think it's a good kit? I would love some feedback on this because I love to like tweak these and like make them better. So, you know, put some stuff in the comments there and let me know. Till next time, just remember, life's a hike, so hike happy and stay safe in the winter. Just be prepared.